John. Listen, the board met this afternoon, and it's as bad as we thought. They're cutting back the whole department.
What, you're laying me off?
You know, we knew this was coming, and at this point, it's just a leave of absence. With any luck, you'll be back with us next fall.
You're laying me off.
I'm sorry, John.
Hey. Michael Jordan was only 5'2" when he started. Of course, he was in kindergarten. He could dunk the ball. Well, just keep practicing. All right? Hello?
John, it's Charlene.
Charlene? Wow, I was just thinking about you the other day.
Listen, I'm so glad I was able to reach you. I'm in town. I was hoping you might have some time to get together.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of time.
Well, I'm staying at the Hilton near the airport.
So what did you want to talk to me about?
Last month, I was in Peru doing a piece on a relief project. We went to this place called Vicente, and I met a priest there. His name is Father Jose. He's also an archaeologist. He told me about some scrolls that he had discovered a few years ago.
What kind of scrolls?
Ancient writings. No one knows who wrote them. It's a prophecy.
Really? What does it predict?
According to Father Jose, it says that all the conflict, the chaos in this world, it's changing us.
What does that mean?
It means that the violence is waking us up in a way. The prophecy says that we're going to discover something.
Which is?
He was vague about it, but he said that it'll make us look at everything differently. I know this all sounds weird, but if you'll just listen.
Okay. I'll listen. So when is this revelation supposed to happen?
The prophecy says it'll begin during the first years of this century.
Well, that's now.
Yeah, I know. Oh, excuse me, sir. Can you please get my luggage?
Oh, certainly. Will you be needing a taxi today?
Yes, please.
Fine. The baggage will be out by the cab.
Great. It's just one bag.
Charlene, have you ever wondered why we don't spend more time together?
How long have I known you? 5 or 6 years?
About that long, yeah.
How many relationships have you had? You always want to get involved with somebody, have them around because it makes you feel good, but it never works out because you're not really there. Whatever happened to that big theory you were trying to find? Inspire all those kids. What happened to that?
I found out it isn't that easy.
You should go to Vicente, John. They're studying this prophecy down there. I can't explain it, but the people there are different. This place is different.
Why are you calling me about all us now?
Because every time I would think of this prophecy, I would think of you. And then I found out that I had to stop over here. Maybe you're hearing this at the right time.
Hey, Meredith. Hey, darling. How are you? Hey. Have a good day, girl. Better than mine, I hope.
You should go to Vicente, John. The people there are different. This place is different.
Travel agency. Cancellation. When's it leaving? Tomorrow. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, thanks. Want to go to Peru?
I haven't been in Lima in quite a while. How long have you lived there?
I'm new to Peru. I've lived in Bolivia for the last 10 years, so I haven't met your father, Jose. In any case, the local priests are so numerous, aren't they?
I suppose they are.
Excuse me. I just heard you mention a Father Jose.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine just told me about him.
Dobson. Dr. Sidney Dobson. Would you like a drink? 2 more scotches, please.
Sure, right away.
So, are you a scientist?
Oh, no. John Woodson, tourist. But I'm going to Peru because I'm interested in this place called Vicente.
Ah, yes. I met Jose in Boston at an anthropological meeting. We kept in touch over the years, but I had no idea what he had found until several weeks ago. He called me, asked me to help affirm the prophecy's authenticity. He sent me copies of the first 2 scrolls along with translations. Real thing. There's no doubt about it. Written no later than 5 or 6 BC, but you know the curious thing. They were found in a wooden box, which dates to only about 1600 AD. Someone in the early church had buried them.
Early church. Franciscan or Jesuit? Oh, I'm a history teacher.
Well, apparently Franciscan, although they seem to be inspired by a pope. Celestine V, I think.
You mentioned that you had copies of them. Can you tell me what they say?
No, not really. Talk about a shift in human understanding or something, I don't know. But you know the curious thing, the most astonishing thing is the description of the modern era. Our problems, our technologies, I mean, it is utterly amazing. You think about it. A document this old speaking in such detail about our time. Think about it. It was a pleasure traveling with you. You staying in town?
Delgado.
I'm just down the street at the Hacienda. Father Jose's church is just down the street from there. Why don't you come see him with me in the morning? He has the original scrolls. He wants to make them public as soon as possible.
Why's that?
I don't know. You can ask him yourself in the morning. You see someone down there you know?
Oh, no, not really.
Uh-huh. Pretty girl.
St. Francis was a great man. He could see beauty where others couldn't.
I'm sorry, I was just taking a walk.
It's all right. American? Now, what has brought you to Peru?
You're Father Jose, aren't you? I'm John Woodson. A friend of mine, Charlene Benet, met you a few weeks ago.
And she told you about our prophecy. John, listen to me. I know you. You're here to do something important. But you need to leave quickly.
What are you talking about? What's the matter?
Go. I will try to help you.
You've caused us a lot of trouble, old man.
There's a hidden compartment in the wall of the sacristy.
You should have hidden them better, Padre. 8 scrolls. Where's the 9th? Okay. One way or another, I'm going to put an end to all of this.
You're going to try. You will do everything you can, but it's already too late.
You're very calm for a man about to die.
Everybody does. Even you, senor.
John, wait. Slow down a minute. Why didn't you just call the police?
Because I'm not sure what's going on. I told you it could be nothing.
Nothing. You got me out of bed in the middle of the night for nothing? Don't do that. You'll never get rid of her. What's going? John!
¡Lo tienes! ¡Escape! ¡Ahí va! algo? Aquí no está. Aquí no está, hombre. Sigue, sigue.
Need some help? They seem to have left.
We were going to that church a block away, looking for the priest.
Father Jose?
Yeah.
And who is we?
This professor, I met him on a plane. He's looking for some artifact.
The prophecy. Go on.
Wait a minute. You know about all this. Who are you?
Part of your story, apparently. My name is Will.
John.
I'm a guide. I was working with Jose when he found the scrolls.
That's him, yeah. Who's this woman?
Julia Sims. She's a friend, a linguist. Translated most of the prophecy.
And him?
His name is Father Sanchez. He lives in the mountains with the local Indians. Philosopher, you could say. I have a feeling you'll meet him. Now, what about your friend, the professor? Tell me what happened.
They took him right in front of me. That's why I was running. I think they got Father Jose, too.
Put this on. We have to leave.
You think it'd be safe to go back to the hotel?
I don't think so.
Maybe you could take me to the American Embassy.
Too risky.
General, Su Excelencia, el Cardenal Sebastián.
General.
Qué sorpresa que usted me esté visitando. Por favor.
No, gracias, no. Ha encarcelado a un americano.
Profesor, estaba camino a reunirse con el sacerdote José. ¿Un tabaco?
No, 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 gracias, no, no, no.
¿Un trago?
No, no, no. ¿No se das cuenta que esto puede traer más publicidad? ¿No hubieses consultado?
Se me permite recordarle, Su Excelencia, fue usted quien dijo de los peligros de esta profecía. Y fue usted quien solicitó mi ayuda.
No es verdad. Yo le informé que el documento era radical. Tenemos que contenerlo, pero nunca le dije eso para crear un problema con los americanos. Puede surgir investigaciones. Somos una democracia ahora.
Esta profecía está creando una inestabilidad en un tiempo donde ya estamos luchando contra el problema de los insurgentes. Además, tiene usted que entender que hay otros intereses en este asunto. Esta profecía tiene que acabar con este cuento.
Otros intereses. El padre José no estaba presente durante la misa esta mañana. Nadie lo puede encontrar.
Aquí en Perú se desaparecen gente todos los días. Si usted quiere, yo mandaré a alguien para que investigue esto.
Los pergaminos son la propiedad de la iglesia. Tienen que regresar a mí. General.
That's all I can bear. To tolerate his arrogance. In a moment, he can remove anyone from the church, damn them forever. We might control the people's minds, but he controls their souls.
He can be used. That's all that interests me.
This is all a waste of my time. This prophecy, it's nothing. Why do you fear it so?
Because, General, in the world it predicts, there is no need for people like you and me. Do your part, and you'll get what you want.
Tú tienes las fotos del otro americano.
General, ¿y qué quiere que haga con el profesor Dobson?
Llame a la embajada americana. Diles que la detención de él fue un error y llévalo al aeropuerto. Yo creo que él estará listo para regresar a casa. Now, who are you? And what are you doing in my country?
I called the embassy. Dobson's okay. They think it was a case of mistaken identity. He's already headed back to the States.
What about Father Jose?
No one has seen him. I think someone is trying to suppress the prophecy.
Who'd do that, Will? Why?
Certain people in the government, probably. They view it as a threat. It's not, of course, but they don't see that.
Well, maybe I should try to get home, too. I mean, if they let Dobson go, maybe it's safe for me to leave as well.
Or maybe you should come with me. Do you suppose it was an accident that you came to Peru? That you met Dobson? How did you end up taking that particular flight? Think about it. Why did I see you from my window when I did? You're gonna love this. I was all set to get out of there. I was packed, I was ready, and then I had this strange feeling. I'd forgotten something. That's when you showed up.
So what are you telling me? That this is some kind of a fate thing, that I'm supposed to go with you? For what?
There's a part of the prophecy that still has to be found. One more scroll. The 9th.
Oh, no. Forget about it. I don't even know if I believe this stuff. All I had in mind was to come to Peru and find Vicente. That's it. Where are you headed to anyway?
Vicente.
Vicente, what's it like?
It's an old ranch, about 1,000 acres. Nino's family for hundreds of years goes all the way back to the Spanish land grants, the Moors. These days, it's a kind of retreat.
And the people there, they're studying the prophecy?
Some of them.
Tell me about it.
So far, we've discovered 8 scrolls. Each one contains a certain truth about our existence. Call them insights. Insights, the prophecy says, we're all gonna understand. Look, I could describe these insights to you right now, and you would hear my words, but you have to do more than that. You have to experience it for yourself. The prophecy has to happen to you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking about seeing the world, John. The way it really is. You get the first insight when you realize there's There's a mystery operating out there, moving us somewhere for a reason. It's there for everyone, but only if you notice.
You're talking about these weird coincidences?
Once you begin to really look, you start seeing them more and more.
If it's true they have meaning, that would be incredible. I mean, I know history. That would change everything.
That's the second insight. That the world is about to change.
What about the others?
In time, you'll open up your perception, find your guidance. You'll discover why you're really here.
What about the missing ninth scroll?
I believe it puts the others into perspective. Shows us where it's all leading.
And what makes you think you can never find it?
Because that's why I'm here. Dream anything last night?
Yeah. Little girl I've dreamed about before. Makes no sense.
It's probably important.
Why would you say that?
Because regardless of how confusing they are, dreams are always trying to tell us something. Maybe you just need a larger perspective.
My God. What is this place?
Celestine Ruins. They found the first 8 scrolls there.
Maybe the ninth is there too.
Maybe.
What's that over there?
The mission. Cardinal Sebastian had it rebuilt 10 years ago. He's the head of the church here.
Vicente? Where's that?
In a hurry? Rebels. It's been going on for a while here.
Trying to overthrow the government?
What are these things always about? Power struggle.
They look really well supplied.
Let's move.
Miguel. Ah, Will. I had a feeling you'd show up.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you, my friend. Julia's already arrived, and Father Sanchez is on his way.
I know it.
You think it's time, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
John.
Meet my friend Miguel. We're his guests here.
Hi. Beautiful place. Heck of a time getting here.
We like to consider it our little oasis.
Well, look what the wind blew in.
Julia.
Julia.
Oh, I saw your truck come in. I'm so glad you're here. Did you drive straight through?
Mm-hmm. Meet John.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi. We've been working on the translations, and we found something. It seems to be saying that the ninth isn't on a scroll at all. It's going to just appear.
Appear?
Could be there's something we have to do. Something to make it happen.
Well, some ride.
He's involved somehow. Maybe you should talk to him.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Come walk with me.
What's going on here? What are they doing?
Let's just say they're giving the garden their attention. How much do you know about the prophecy?
Not that much, not yet.
Have you been having dreams? Something brought you here, right? Synchronicity?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Because that's how it begins for everyone.
Will told me I had to open up, whatever that means.
And you think that's strange?
Well, I have no idea what he's talking about with that. Seriously.
There's much more to the world than you think, John. A beauty, an energy.
You talk about strange. I know that woman. I saw her at the airport.
Go talk to her if you'd like. I'll wait.
Hi. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I'm John Woodson. Julia's showing me around.
Marjorie Carter.
Someplace here, huh? Here it goes all the way back to colonial times.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of the most incredible spots I have ever seen.
I suppose you're staying here at the house? We should get together later. Talk some more about all this stuff.
Not this time.
Come on, you should do this. It'll be fun. You can tell me all about what's happening here. I'm interested in everything.
I've got a lot of work to get through. I'm gonna get to it. Nice to meet you.
What was that?
Didn't work out too well, huh?
That's the understatement of the year. What did I say?
It's not what you said, it's what you did. Your energy made her feel as though you wanted to control her. She felt dominated.
Oh, come on. I wasn't doing that.
Really? You weren't trying to coax her into something?
No.
Manipulate her? She isn't used to that around here.
That's completely nuts. Where are you getting this stuff?
I could see it. Remember the halos the old masters used to paint around their religious figures? You think they made those up, or were they seeing something real? It's the energy, John. It reveals what we do to each other. You may not be conscious of it, but you were taking her energy. I could see it. So could she.
How did the afternoon go?
I spoke to Julia.
So I heard.
I got lots of questions. Stuff never ends, does it?
It's all gonna make sense. Eventually. Everyone you meet meteor is gonna show you something.
Ah, John and Will. Please join us. We've got great people, great food. Everything is fresh from the garden.
Miguel? Who's that man over there on the other side of the table?
Ah, Jensen. He's an archaeologist. He's here on sabbatical, a friend of a friend. Would you like me to introduce you?
No. Never mind.
I knew I'd find you here.
Waiting for you. You seem happy.
I am. Really good. I'm celebrating my 4th with Tom. Oh, come on, Will. You never had time for us anyway.
True. But I'm glad for you and Tom, and you and I will always be connected.
University of Miami. Your Hurricanes crushed my Bulldogs last year. I'm still not over it.
Yeah, you got me.
I teach there with Julia. I've been helping her with the translations for about a year now. In fact, I was on my way back when you saw me.
Does that mean something that I saw you?
Maybe. Maybe that we have something to talk about, actually. If you believe the prophecy.
You were thinking about a child last time you were going to adopt.
It's not that easy. We've met a few children, but I guess it has to be the right one.
It'll happen for you.
Listen, I've been thinking about Father Jose.
He was too public about it. I tried to tell him.
But others have to know, Will. They have to know about the prophecy. Your friend John, for one.
What do you think of him?
I think he'll get there. Unless, of course, he gets too distracted.
Julia told me that you could see things happening when we talked in the garden.
I glimpsed it, I guess. But to be honest, I felt it more than anything.
There's just something so familiar about you. I can't.
John, this player thing you do really gets in your way.
I'm not playing. Didn't you just say we're supposed to talk?
God, it's amazing how easy it is to lose yourself around some people.
Why, are you losing yourself?
I'm talking about you. Good night.
Vamos a hacer algo sobre Vicente. Vamos a deshacernos de todos aquellos que están involucrados con la profecía. Y ahora tenemos, en este momento, la oportunidad de acabar con las últimas traducciones.
¿Para quién trabajas?
Usted no quiere saberlo. Son gente de poder, como usted, que tienen sus propias agendas. Están invirtiendo mucho dinero en Perú y demandan estabilidad. Tenemos que hacer todo posible para cooperar.
¿No sería que le están ayudando con sus ambiciones políticas también, tal vez?
Ellos ven la profecía muy perjudicial y en este asunto sus intereses y los de ellos deberían ser iguales. Vicente ya pronto terminará de ser un problema. Esto terminará pronto. Le pido a usted que no interfiera. Su Excelencia.
Marjorie have come together for a reason, John. She's showing you the third and fourth insights. The prophecy says we'll stop building ourselves up by taking energy from others. There's another source inside, but we have to really connect with it. That's what Will meant when he said open up. And if you open up enough, it literally changes the way you see the world. But you have to really believe the experience exists. Open yourself to the possibility that there's something more, right here in front of your eyes.
Did you see that?
Come on, I want to show you something over here.
Wow, Julia, this place is so alive. It's amazing.
Have a seat. Let's try something. Put your fingers together like this.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're gonna look at the space between your fingers. Relax your focus just a bit. What do you see? Look closely. Let your eyes go out of focus just a bit. What do you see?
Huh. It's like a wisp of smoke or something.
That's the energy. Now look around. See that philodendron? It's the opposite of trying to make something happen. Just let go. Take in the plant. The beauty, the color, the way it stands out with presence. That's it. Breathe it in. Now take in more beauty.
That's amazing. That's... Oh, hold on, I lost it.
Here. Try again.
Wow, that's incredible.
Señor!
Keep your focus, John. You have to get this.
Señor John! Señor John! Señor, the gentleman in the second cottage, he needs to speak to you immediately. This is very important.
John.
Hi.
Miguel told me all about you. Listen, there's something I have to talk to you about. How much do you know about Will?
Well, I only just recently met him.
I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, Will is wanted by the military police.
What are you talking about?
They are on the way to arrest him now. But if you allow me, I can help you.
How can you help me?
Peru is a very dangerous place for someone all alone, in over his head. I have official clearance to study the prophecy. I can move around freely, but I need you to tell me what you know. Where's the missing scroll?
I don't know anything.
But you're one of them, John. They all accept you. You must know something. I can even get you back to the United States if that's what you want. But you have to leave with me right now before the soldiers come.
John. 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 We have to go.
Don't listen to him. Your survival depends on your staying with me.
Are you coming?
Yeah.
You're making a bad mistake, both of you.
He was undermining your confidence, taking your energy. Now you know what it feels like when someone does it to you.
I felt weak. I couldn't think.
He's just one more controller. But you're probably gonna have to deal with him, so you'd better figure it out.
Wait. Is that in the prophecy too?
There's a world of energy that we are all going to understand. It's the real human condition. Energy is what we all want. But we're stuck battling for it with each other instead of finding it in ourselves. That's what you still have to do, John. You haven't really opened up, you know.
Will! John, military's on its way. You need to leave now. Go while the northern road is still open.
What about Julia and Marjorie?
They've already left. You'll be right behind them. I'm gonna go to Lima, see the president. Maybe something can still be done. Now listen, you remember my cabin?
In the rainforest, yes.
It's probably the safest place for you now. Finish this thing.
Yes.
Good luck, Miguel.
Perdóname por permitir lo que ha pasado.
Remember I told you the way to Miguel's place?
Yeah?
If anything happens, you go there. They'll need your help.
What about you?
I'll have to keep going.
I thought you said you were here to find the ninth insight.
Nothing's changed. Just keep learning, John. You'll find help. There's always help. The right person will come along if you stay alert. Something will happen for you.
¡Manos arriba! ¡Dame, dame!
¡Sale del carro! ¡Sale del carro!
What was that?
Rebels, sit tight. It's Julia's car.
¡Vamos, vamos! ¡Vamos! Cuidado, abre la puerta, que saquen todo. ¡Mujer, ahora! ¡No hable!
¡Soldados! ¡Militares, déjenla! ¡Vamos! ¡Militares! ¡Vamos! ¡Los soldados!
Ven conmigo, ven. My leg.
Wait, wait! Julia, I'm okay. Find the cabin. I've got the translations.
How you feeling?
I'm terrified.
You need a rest?
No, let's keep going.
Is that Will?
What?
Stay here.
No, no, John, I should
said stay here.
¡Alto!
John!
St. Francis could see beauty where others couldn't.
Busca allá.
I'm Father Sanchez. I can help you.
I remember you from a photograph I saw. You and Father Jose.
Don't forget Will. He was also there.
Will told me if I needed help, someone would show up. Guess he meant you.
Tell me what happened on the cliffs, John.
I knew I was gonna die. So I just let go. Waited for the bullets and everything began to change, and I felt this.
You had an amazing experience, my friend. You opened up. You are changed. Did Will explain this to you?
He tried, I couldn't get it.
Oh, you got more than you think. Tell me what you know.
You mean the insides?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first and the second are about noticing the coincidences. Things happen for a reason. They're waking us up, showing us the energy. And that's the third and the fourth, right? I mean, that it's real and people battle for it.
It causes all the conflict in the world, between nations, in the workplace, families. There's only one solution.
Opening up. Finding our own energy. Fifth inside.
Connects you with the one true source, the real world.
But I lost it. Why?
Well, the prophecy says, when you find the true connection with the energy of God, it's like a glimpse into the future. One day we'll all see that way, live in that world. But now it's a difficult thing for anyone to maintain. We are evolving in that direction.
I saw the world's evolution. How it all came to be. My life seemed to be a part of everything right up to now. Everything made sense. Growing up at the lake, working with kids, trying to understand history. I spent my whole life thinking there was something more.
That's the sixth insight. It says we are part of a larger flow of evolution. We are here to do something. And if we are true to that purpose, we'll help move humanity towards the world you saw.
But that's just it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
That's because you're not through yet. How to know what to do next is the seventh. You have to discover your guidance.
You're talking about hunches, right? Intuitions? I've seen Will have that.
If you stay alert, you'll notice certain ideas, images coming into your mind. They're there to guide you. Follow them and the coincidences begin to increase. Just step into the flow.
I don't think I've ever experienced that before.
You just need to open the door again. Get some more energy. You remember how I felt on the cliff? How the world looked? Just breathe in the memory. You were daydreaming.
Yeah, I guess I was.
What's coming to you?
I was thinking about Marjorie. How it's my fault that she got captured.
But what were you seeing?
I don't know.
Now, come on, think. Most people overlook these experiences.
Well, it's the same thing I saw yesterday on the mountain. And it felt like the future. And, she was in this place, surrounded by dense jungles.
Go on.
Well, she was looking at something. A small flower. A small yellow flower.
Well, that's clear enough.
Yeah, clear as mud.
You know you have to do something, right? Except you don't know what. And then you have this image of Marjorie. Well, that little daydream of yours was a guidance.
Okay, I'll buy that. What's it saying?
You saw her in the rainforest. Well, the rainforest is that way.
I don't know if I should do this. Maybe I should go with you.
There's no need. I can't find Julia. You have to go your own way. Follow your own intuition alone. We can't do anything without Marjorie, so get moving. Find her. I'll see you at Miguel's cabin.
How am I gonna find her? I don't even know where I'm going.
None of us know where we're going. Not really. Just listen inside. Pay attention to the way things look. Something will happen.
Father Jose? We thought you were dead.
Well, things are not always as they seem, John.
I thought I was on the right path. I guess I made a mistake.
It's a mistake to think the worst too quickly. Always find the deeper meaning, the silver lining. That's what keeps you in the flow.
Oye, oye, come.
I don't know how this is happening. It's just... Don't worry. We're gonna get out of here.
Pronto. Suban al camión. Dale, camina. ¡Vamos, vamos, muchachos!
What now?
This is it. Thank you. Gracias para todo. Okay. Okay. All right. I've been to Miguel's cabin once before, and
Want to know what I think? I think we should make for the border and get out of Peru while we can.
John, have you forgotten why we're here?
We can try to contact the others when we get there. No more shooting.
John, you're past this. Listen to yourself. Now, I promise you, I can find this place. You just give me a minute, all right?
No.
Hold on.
It's too dangerous. Marjorie. Hold on. Will you talk to me, please?
You don't want to talk. To talk, you would have to listen, actually listen to what another person is feeling, and you are as dense as that sign.
I am just trying to get you.
You're controlling. John, because you're scared, and it is wearing me down, and that's not gonna happen to me anymore. Not if I can help it. John, leave me alone.
Hey, what took you so long?
Julia, they're here.
You did it. What's going on?
No, it's okay. Don't ask.
Come on, John, you did great. Come on in.
Come on. Give me another chance. You're the one that's supposed to be so good at all this stuff.
You are not making this easy on me. I am doing the best I can, but God knows I don't have it all figured out yet.
You can start by calming down.
I can be a little hard-edged sometimes. I've always gotten lost in other people. Guys, mostly the charming ones, not stood my ground when it was really important, and I vowed to myself not anymore, and then you come along like it is some kind of test for me, and I just get angry because I don't want to slide backwards, John.
Neither do I. That's why I want to find out exactly what happened and get through this.
The couple thing is the hardest thing to work out. I mean, especially if the relationship feels familiar, if it feels like I've known you before. Do you think I didn't feel it? When couples first meet, usually there is this wonderful feeling. But it almost never lasts. One person gets insecure and starts controlling, wanting more from the other person, and the other one gets threatened and backs away, and it leads to a power
It
struggle.
doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't. I mean, if both people stay connected, then whoever has the strongest intuition leads, and there's no competition. Control is shared, and that's the relationship I want.
But that's just it. I can't stay connected. I want to, but I'm not there yet.
But there is a way, John. And we all have to work on doing this one critical thing. It's what I absolutely need to remember instead of getting angry all the time. I mean, that's the eighth insight. Come here. It says that instead of taking energy from each other, you give it. All the time, no matter what. Like Father Sanchez is doing. Look at him, John. Really look.
Giving energy is a process. When someone's energy increases, you can see it in their expression. So you look for that higher expression. In every situation. You know your energy is moving into them when you get a feeling.
Feeling?
On the cliff. When you opened up, remember? What did you feel?
I felt a kind of completeness. A wholeness is unmatched euphoria. You're talking about love, aren't you?
Yes. Giving is the secret to keeping yourself connected. Because your energy, your love, builds up in you first as it flows out to others. It's what the saints have always known how to do. It's what you and I have to do now, to help them.
Wait a minute. Maybe we're misreading this. Father Sanchez, John, come here. I found something in the translations. Look at this. This phrase, Birvuta Bozim Maita.
What does it mean?
It means roughly to amplify. I thought it just referred to one person giving energy to another. But now I think it's something more. It's one thing to just give energy. But if we give it to someone who is also giving it back, then we build energy among ourselves. It amplifies. back and forth. It says if we were all doing this, humanity would take another step in evolution.
Does it say where we'll go?
Maybe that's what the Ninth is going to tell us.
That's it, isn't it? That's where it's gonna happen.
Hey, John, we have to get going.
It'll take about 2 hours to get to the ruins from here. Does anyone know exactly where to start looking?
There's someone who knows exactly where to look.
You got it all, John. All the prophecy that we know. You've caught up. Now you live in our world.
You could just let it go. You don't owe anything to anyone.
No, you go ahead. I'll catch up with you.
I think I have to go with him.
So why have you come here?
To seek reconciliation. I want you to understand the course I've chosen.
There's nothing to understand. All this talk about prophecy must come to an end.
But the people have the right to know what it says. It makes our religion, it makes every religion come alive.
Really? Yes, of course. Look what it's done to us.
Hear me, please. From the time of Peter, the church has been about faith, about belief. We have kept that belief alive. But we can't go past that now. We can begin to live the promises. The kingdom can come now.
It can all lead to chaos.
No. The guidance inside will prevent that. The perception can expand, can evolve.
Evolve? You listen carefully to what you're saying. We have always fought against the idea of evolution.
Against the idea of evolution without God. But evolution is a creation that's still happening. We can all participate.
Don't lecture me about theology. Only God creates, not us.
But it happens through us, don't you see? You protected the Franciscan documents. You showed us where to find the scrolls. They were placed in the ruins for some reason. It's time to find out why. Please, join us.
No. It must end. Doesn't matter now. There'll be no ruins, be no ninth insight, nothing.
What have you done?
Se ha terminado. No está en nuestras manos ahora.
Come on. We need to find the others.
Wait a minute. It's Jensen.
We gotta get moving.
You remember you told me I need to follow my own intuition? This is mine to do.
¡De rodillas! Que no, que lo tiene que rodar. Mucho cuidado con esto.
So where's the ninth straw? You should have come with me before, when I gave you the chance.
You're gonna destroy the ruins, aren't you?
Let's just say there are people out there who want certain things to happen. Your prophecy isn't one of them. How did you think this would end, huh?
If you only knew what the prophecy says, how the world really is.
The world is the way it is because we make it that way. When there's prosperity, we create it. When there's war, well, sometimes war can be useful too.
You want to destroy this democracy?
Not destroy. Limit. Progress depends on people's willingness to be led. The world has changed. Religious fanatics are threatening everything. Now this prophecy pops up again after hundreds of years. Oh, yes. I know all about it. We have our writings too. We've always known the dangers of what it promises. This dreamy liberation, the illusion of security. It undermines everything.
It's not an illusion. It's real. It's the only thing that's real. Trying to control isn't the answer. When we find the true God experience, the fight over whose religion is best, it fades. There's just one truth.
You people, so naive. Thinking there's something spiritual guiding this world. Well, there's nothing out there. Just as humans. And those of us who know that will always be in control. The way of this world is power.
Can't let you do this.
You could never stop me.
You idiot! You've killed us all!
John, I found the others. Let's get to the circle.
I'll be right back.
You feel that?
It's happening. Someone's helping us. Send the energy back. It will build. Remember?
this? I can read it. I can read this. It says, the guidance within evolves the world towards a heaven that is already here. To know this is to know our destiny.
Well?
You made it here first, wherever this is.
You were helping us, weren't you?
Father Jose.
He's been helping us too. They're all helping us.
We are being shown heaven.
It's where evolution is taking us. Where it's always been taking us. That's the ninth insight.
No te muevas.
No, don't hurt her. She's just a child.
Cállate.
No, keep your energy. Hold on, they'll see you.
Julia.
Marjorie.
Stay focused. Keep your energy. John!
Llévalos a la cúspide. ¡Rápido! Ahora.
Marjorie, I want to tell you something. I don't think we have much time left. But I want to thank you for all of it, for everything you've shown me. I was a reluctant student at first, I know, but I'm glad you didn't give up on me.
I think I was a stubborn one. And John, we weren't supposed to be together. Not this time. We were just supposed to find a balance.
I think we did.
Vamos, levántate.
Mátenlos.
¡Aguanten! ¡Nombre de Dios, aguanten! ¡Nombre de Dios! ¡Vayan las armas!
Ellos no pueden causar daño ahora. No tienen credibilidad. Yo se lo aseguro.
Estos no son sus asuntos, Excelencia.
No. Bueno, déjenlos vivir. No somos asesinos. Los documentos están destruidos. La selva se tragará las ruinas. Y no quedará nada de la profecía. La profecía ha terminado.
Lávenselo a Lima.
knew it was you. It's pretty intense in there. I have 45 minutes to leave the country. They got me on the next plane out. What about the others?
Marjorie? She's already back home. She was there to set you free. Julia and the girl, they're all right too.
Will? The scrolls, the translations, anything left?
They don't matter, John. We were able to understand the ninth. Now we know what life is really about. That changes everything. Here. I thought you'd find this interesting.
How about that? We made the news. She sent me here.
Maybe now you can have something real.
Yeah. Maybe I can.
So, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. I don't know.
You have to take all this with you, John. You'll meet others who have to know. Just keep your eyes open. Something will always happen. Oh, one last thing. Something tells me you'll be getting a message. From Will.
Thank you. Is it 10th inside?